You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back, Rudrance, for Black and White Sports 2. Let's talk about Russell Wilson, somebody we talk about a lot on here, and let's talk about the Denver Broncos head coaching gig, because the last Hall of Fame quarterback that played for the Denver Broncos, a guy that's still very involved in the organization, Peyton Manning, has come out and made some comments about the head coaching gig, because I guess there's a faction of Bronco fans out there that are hoping in some kind of a Jeff Saturday kind of way that Peyton Manning would agree to come coach this team. And I could have probably told you, no, that's not going to happen, because Peyton wants to own an NFL team. He is thinking much, much bigger than head coach of an NFL team. Also, there have been some comments made about Russell Wilson, and one of the things that is the problem. So let's go Peyton first, saying, thanks, but hell no, I'm not doing this. TMZ, I don't want to coach, even with the Broncos gig open. Sorry, Broncos fans. Peyton Manning says he doesn't have much interest in coaching Russell Wilson. I'm sure he doesn't. Who would? Or anyone else for that matter, explaining this week he doesn't want to be in a headset on the sidelines despite the open job in Denver. And look, they could have looked at Peyton last year. Maybe they did. I don't know. Manning didn't mince too many words when asked about the possibility of taking over for fired Nathaniel Hackett in the Mile High City, repeating, quote, I don't think so, twice. Of course, Manning doesn't have any coaching experience at college or NFL level, but that didn't stop his former team, the Colts, from hiring his former center, Jeff Saturday, earlier this year. Peyton, though, didn't appear to have any real desire to follow in his pal's footsteps, even if his old Denver squad could use him. As we reported, the Broncos fired Hackett on Monday after a tumultuous 4-11 start to his Denver tenure. Now, let's bring this up. Anybody remember this from the other day? Brett Ripien getting into it with Dalton Reisner over there, because, of course, there were some Olay kind of pass protection plays that happened involving Russell Wilson. And, of course, their quarterback got nailed a couple of times, and they did not help him out. They didn't help him up, which is something you commonly see with offensive linemen and their quarterbacks. And we're starting to find out why. There's some real resentment there. There's some issues that these players, these Bronco teammates, absolutely have with Russell Wilson. Now, very quickly, Mike Lombardi did make some comments about Russell Wilson. Let's listen to him real fast.
GM of the Denver Broncos, I'd have a meeting with Russell, and I would call him and his agent in, and I'd have somebody else in the meeting, and we would talk about how your entitlement has ruined the team, how you have to have so many parking spots at the stadium, how you have this office here, how everything is catered around you. Like, you basically you disassociate yourself with the team. Like, it's one for all and all for one. Like,
exactly, okay. Russell Wilson has alienated his teammates, and you can see that product transition to the field. Broncos teammates, look, just once again, every time I do a Wilson video of any kind, whether it's Zach or Russell, the two worst quarterbacks in the league are last name Wilson, and they've both alienated their teammates, and their teammates hate both of them. It's crazy. In this case, Russell Wilson's ego, I guess, of past success, has completely fractured that relationship. Shannon Sharp did drop some knowledge on us, because I guess he's taught. Well, I mean, we know Shannon Sharp is an all-time great tight end that played for the Denver Broncos. So he's all tied into that organization. We know that. Russell Wilson's Bronco teammates have been, quote, seething over the quarterback's me-first attitude. Think about this. We know players all around the league hate Russell Wilson. We know Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch don't like Russell Wilson. We saw the way the Ravens and Justin Tucker made fun of Russell Wilson. Is there any actual NFL players in the league that respect this guy at all? I'm just wondering, because evidently his attitude, his sense of entitlement has now made its way all across the NFL. At this point, it sounds to me like Russell Wilson may as well just retire. Okay, because it's getting ugly. And evidently now that he's starting to have some drop-off in skill, once you start losing, I mean, the wheels are going to fall off this thing, and they fell off, basically. You cost your coach a job, let's be honest. Quote, let me tell you what the problem is, Sharp said. Russell Wilson has never been a 1-2-3 get rid of the ball guy. That's a fact. He was very good at improvisation. He was very good, Skip, at getting off script. Russell has lost his athleticism. Russ can't outrun anybody. Boy, that's not a good sign. So he can't make those improvisational plays he could for those first 10 years in Seattle. You would never see Russ get dragged down from behind. Now Russ don't look like he could outrun me. Beyond Wilson's dwindling athleticism, Sharp, who played 12 seasons for the Broncos and won 2 championships, added how the QB's ego has ballooned. And this is where it gets really interesting. I don't know who the head coach is going to be, but the first thing you do is say, Russell, I'm locking this office. You will no longer have an office. All those parking spaces you get at the stadium, all those. How many parking spaces you got, man? They're gone too. Because you're putting yourself in front of the team. That's a terrible look. That's a horrible look. My God, somebody who's already got a reputation of a potentially inflamed, swollen ego. You know, we heard about this stuff, but now we know there's people in the organization, there's players that's got a problem with this. I said it before, I'll say it again, I'll stand by it. You ticked off a lot of people with your attitude, bro. You come out here and talk about how we're a team, I'm good with my teammates, but deep inside, they're seething, and I'm going to leave it at that. So Sharp knows. His teammates are furious. His teammates don't like him. If you're the Denver Broncos right now, you got to have a come to Jesus with Russell Wilson because he's lost his locker room. It's up to him to try to get it back. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can. It's obvious. He's a prima donna. He thinks he's above everybody else. And that has officially rubbed all of his teammates the wrong way. And they don't give a rip about him. When you get blasted out there a couple of times on the field, and your teammates your offensive linemen, the guys that you always see go to bat for their quarterback like pit bulls, when you can tell they don't care if you get your head knocked off, oh man. The Denver Broncos are in a horrible situation for so many reasons. They got a quarterback that people don't know whether or not he's literally physically washed up. His attitude and his demands has fractured the locker room. There's all kinds of speculation about how he wants to be a pocket passer, but everybody knows, including Pete Carroll, knows he's not capable of being that. George Payton gave him $245 million. He didn't have to do that, by the way. That Russell didn't ask for that contract. I mean, George Payton probably going to end up hitting the bricks over that alone. They gave up all these draft picks. Who's going to take this job? You're going to end up having somebody that, frankly, is not qualified to be a head coach, or you're going to get one of these one-and-done, two-and-done kind of scenarios, one of these Lovie Smith kind of deals like you've got down in Houston right now, because if you look at the setup on this contract, you can't get rid of Russell next year. I don't think. I mean, look, it's not an issue of money. The Waltons, who own this team now, I mean, since I've been talking, they've printed enough money to wipe out Hackett's contract and probably Wilson's too. That's not that big a deal, but you're under the restrictions of the salary cap and dead money. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think. If you sat back and you thought to yourself, if there's not a salary cap, what would we do here? Well, we would cut Russell Wilson and just get him out of the building. I think as an organization, you just take the hit. For the sake of culture, you take the hit and you get rid of Russell Wilson and you just cut him. You just cut him. You just eat it. Look, successful people don't double down on train wrecks. They just walk away from them. And if this ownership group is going to be successful, just walk away from it. Cut him. Let it go. It didn't work out. Our bad. One and done. So the organization and the fans can move on. Okay? Probably not going to go out there and give Jimmy Garoppolo $20 million, which would immediately, I personally speaking, the way this team's set up, had they not traded away Bradley Chubb, a Jimmy Garoppolo on a team like this could probably win 9 to 11 games. I mean, that quick. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo's a better quarterback than Russell Wilson now, and it's not even close. Derek Carr is a better quarterback than this, whatever this is now. So I probably wouldn't go that route. I'd probably do the more, let us go out, sign a Gardner Minshew or somebody like that can get us through the season and keep us competitive, a guy that's a borderline starter that could keep us in games until you get past the financial hump the next year or so, get some draft picks back, and try to get out of this mess. But that's it. Russell Wilson it's now out there. It's now out there. Shannon Sharp is saying the office, the locker room situation, it's toast. It's toast. So tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. Thank you for watching. It's a mess. Peyton Manning said, hell no. By the way, Booger McFarland came out and said Peyton Manning was always in the locker room. He's a better quarterback than Russell Wilson was. Just saying. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.